Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's late in the afternoon. The light is failing here, so I'm going to try to do this quickly. For week 4, you have a major assignment, and that's the case study. It's worth 100 points, but I would like to invite you to approach the case study as an exciting opportunity to impact a situation and to make good decisions about it, a good estimation of what's going on, and then good decisions about what to do. Okay? This is about Serge Romanich, and you'll find the document that contains all of the information you're going to use. It's a 2-page document, okay, and it's in Reading and Study in Blackboard, and you read that, and that's the only place you go for information. No research. No research. You're not doing an essay here. You are a site administrator. You're going to look at the situation and you're going to make recommendations. Okay, basically that's what it's going to be. You're going to look at the situation. You're going to summarize it in your head. Okay, and then you're going to analyze it in 4 different ways. We'll come to that in a minute. And then you're going to go to make your recommendations. On the 3rd page of the document that's in Reading and Study, you will find a couple of questions here, and the questions will form the thesis of your summary statement of the scenario. And the questions are: do you think Serge's skills were assessed adequately? Do you think he was correctly identified as learning disabled? And I would like that to be in the very first sentence of your summary of the case study. Okay? Here's the assignment. Here it goes. It's in 3 parts. A summary of the scenario. This is the scenario. Summarize it. It's really simple to do that. But start with that thesis statement. I think that Serge's skills were assessed adequately and he was placed properly. Okay, or I don't think that his skills were assessed properly. I think he was misidentified and I think he was not placed properly. I will give you one key piece of information, and remember this for your lifetime. If he was not assessed properly and not identified properly, then special education is not allowed. Okay, so some people say, well, it's lucky, and it happens sometimes, that people think that he wasn't assessed properly and wasn't identified properly, but it was really lucky that he went into special education because there he met Mrs. Evans, who was a really good teacher. Well, it's coincidentally lucky that he landed in there, but it's wrong. Okay, he's got to be assessed properly to be in special education. Okay, so you're going to write a 1 to 1.5 page summary of this scenario, dealing with the question of whether he was assessed properly and whether he was placed properly. Then you're going to do a SWOT, S-W-O-T. We've been over it already once, and you do use an outline format, please, if you can, if you don't mind. Strengths, I'm going to give you one right here so you know exactly how much to write. Strengths, Mrs. Evans, wonderful teacher, and she loved the richness of the students that were her Serbian students that she had in her class, and she studied their culture in their background, and the kids seemed to do really, really well, including Serge when he got into her class. Okay, Mrs. Evans is a strength. Everybody gets it anyway, so I can give you that one. Mrs. Evans was a strength, but here's how you say it. The strength was that Mrs. Evans was interested in the culture of her students. That's enough. That's enough. Just that. Okay, and then maybe 4 or 5 or 6 strengths. 4 or 5 or 6 weaknesses and some opportunities. Weaknesses are things that aren't going well in the program or in Serge's placement or what it might happen to be, or strengths the same way. Opportunities are things that we could have tapped but we didn't. Okay, and threats are things that might happen if we don't get it right. Alrighty? And once you do that, you can also do that in the quadrant. Some students do it this way. I prefer the outline because it's easier to put tracking changes on that and comments. I love putting comments on your papers. I hope you don't mind that, and I hope you like it. Okay, and I hope you get something good out of it. Here we go, and then here's the 3rd part, and that's 1 page. The SWOT is 1 page, only 1 page. Then your case recommendations, and where do you get them from? You get them from the SWOT. Okay. If there's a strength, you enhance the strength. That's your recommendation. If there is a weakness that you have listed in the SWOT, then I would fix that. Would you not? If there's an opportunity, something that wasn't tapped that they forgot to do or that they could have done, wouldn't you put that into place? You would tap that opportunity. And if there's a threat, wouldn't you do something to mitigate the chance that it's going to come to pass? And make a list of 5 or 6 or 7 case recommendations. I want you to approach this assignment as if you were the site administrator. I would like you to make sure that you refer somewhere in your SWOT and in your scenario summary to Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims is the principal of the school. How good do you think he was? What were his strengths? What were his weaknesses? That has to be in there somewhere. There has to be some indication that you have looked at him. And then when you do your recommendations, you're going to do these as if you were the principal. And once again, in case you missed it on the way into this video, this is not an essay assignment. There is no research, there is no citation, there are no references, there are no headings. You don't have to do any of that. Okay, well, the heading of case recommendation, SWOT, and summary, just those three. Alrighty? And in the first sentence, I believe that Serge Romanich was or was not correctly identified and placed. Okay? That's it for today. I would like to encourage each and every one of us to pray strong and deep for the citizens of France and for ourselves as well, as issues of discontent and distrust and fear and threat pervade our college campuses suddenly. It's no wonder. It is nothing new. Alrighty, it is nothing new. But the voices are new, and they can be either generative or they can be threatening and destructive in themselves. And those of you who are noticing some things in pain, or who are reading, somebody came up with Philip Jackson and Life in Classrooms, a book that I know very, very well from 1968, and the hidden curriculum, the rules, the tacit understandings that we function through, and some of them are pretty bad. Okay, with Philip Jackson, this unequal distribution of power in the classroom between teacher and student. The student should be empowered to both to learn and to investigate and to search and to journey along the way here. They don't always just simply have to be standing, waiting, being quiet, and sitting down and giving in to the powers to be. Okay, there's a balance. There's a good balance in education and in learning. Okay, and in going on this journey together. Some of it you have to do on your own, and you have to be empowered to do these things, and children as well. But what's happening on our campuses here is that voices of fear and distrust are somehow coming to the forefront, and it has to be answered, and it's being answered in really good ways some places, and in really, really destructive ways other places. And in Paris, France, that response to the serious issue of diversity of 5 million folks from Northern Africa and from the Middle East settling in Paris or around France. Tough stuff, and some dangerous business going on there, and the preponderance of inmates in penal institutions in France is a troubling business, as it is in this country as well. Once again, where diversity meets fear. Where diversity meets fear, there's trouble. And where diversity meets privilege and power, inequities, big problems there. So pray for our world, and pray for our land, and pray for the specific people that are being challenged, almost beyond belief. Okay. God bless you all. Did I say that I'll be out of town? The 18th and the 19th, I'll be at the Virginia School Board Association convention in south of Richmond there. Oh, I can't remember, Williamsburg. Okay, and the 18th and 19th. So if you have a real problem, do call me on the cell phone. Otherwise, I'll be a little bit silent on Blackboard and on email for those 2 days, and I'll put that in an email to you all as well. God bless you all. I wish you well. Have fun with the case study. Make it as if it's your new job as an assistant principal or a principal, and you have been asked to look into what's going on with Serge Romanich. That's your job this week. Enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, then I don't know, find another job instead. I found that being an assistant principal was like a tremendous relief after teaching was hard for me. I had a hard time teaching. But I love being an assistant principal and when you somehow gain an opportunity to look at things and say, what can we do better here? How can we improve this? How can we make this place safe? How can we, all those questions that come up. I wish you well, and I wish you well along the way. It's your journey. I'm over the hill. I tell people, I said, in 11 years I'm going to be 80 years old. So you're that old? No, not yet, but it's coming. And life changes along the way, does it not? Good luck to you all. We'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.